Welcome once again to Clinical Theurgy, episode 17. And where do we leave off? Where did we leave off in episode 16? Where is the party?
I believe this is session 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my God.
No, you're actually off. I went back through and I found all the episodes. This is episode 17 of Clinical Theurgy.
And now you just added another one. I thought we were six. Wait.
He
I said 17.
This whole fucking world is...
John, check your
upside
sources. Try again. We're not doing this right now. When you find me sources, cite them in the Discord.
down. Well,
We'll have a battle.
the
We'll have an
apocalypse.
information battle royale there.
Alright,
But
I'll accept it.
anyways, we just entered some sort of little tunnel or something after speeding down, up, around through these fucking mountains, being chased by a giant ass rock.
And who was doing all this speeding?
I forgot about that.
Gulron.
Well, I'm holding on for dear life on the back, praying to God this thing doesn't catch up to us, because if it does, I'm rock food.
Yes, you're rock food, as I've tried to climb back into the cart.
I literally rolled a strength check to help you back into the
No,
cart,
I
but
appreciate
there
that,
was so much
but-
going on that it kind of got, glossed over, but hey.
Oh, that was more a commentary
was-
on my inability to roll decent reflex saves than it was your ability to pull me back in.
So I was trying to shove y'all down into the cart. You should have tied yourself to the underside or something. I don't know.
So, this little tunnel that you guys have managed to make your way into, it's not a very long tunnel, but it does, it is too small for the rock to follow you, and probably a good opportunity for a moment to slow down, get party members who are nearly flying off the back end of this cart that's moving 40 miles an hour down the mountainside. Or not, your choice.
That's my
Antaeus can
point.
hang if that's what the party decides.
No. He's gonna get down or get back in if he has to do it himself. But
Just to recap a little bit before the rock chase, we had turned in the sample last session. We spent a day in the city shopping. We spent the night at the inn. The night before, next day we did the shopping. And then we were headed back to Knightsbridge, and we actually got stopped by some giants. And the giants were basically wanting us to give them everything, or they were going to attack us. And while we were fighting them, then this huge rock bird thing comes down, starts eating one of the giants. It was at that point that we finished off the other giant, piled into the cart, and of course went on this glorious chase.
Oh, you forgot me having to get back out of the cart and pull the giant out of the way.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
the
we straight up
charred
murdered that
remains.
guy because we basically just pushed him over the edge of the cliff and murdered him. So yeah, there was that too.
yeah, it seemed like she
Just
wasn't.
let
Gonna,
us pass!
seemed like she wasn't gonna get back in the cart until he was dead. So I was like, "Here, have this," and threw a bomb at him, and he charred more and more.
Well, I mean, we literally couldn't pass him without him either
Oh.
moving or dying or going off the cliff.
I mean, you could have just taken control. You're proficient at running people down.
No, we could not run it down. It's a giant. It's too big. That's why I had to drag it out of the road and push it off the cliff so that the cart could go.
Oh, I meant when it was still alive.
Stuck on it. Yeah, but we wouldn't have been able to. We'd just be hitting it.
Probably
just-
run it down if you go fast enough.
We'd probably
On
just.
the
How do we go fast enough? We only have 30 feet of speed up time.
I was gonna say, and on the other hand, we did try and find a peaceful solution, but the giants just weren't having it. They wanted what we had, and
I mean, he saw the rock. He could have booked it with his buddy, but no, he had to keep fighting me because
Where was he gonna book it to? The rock was literally on the other side of him.
I mean, he could have ran past me.
What rock is gonna run? What giant is gonna run faster than a flying hungry rock? And he couldn't run past you. You were literally in the center of the road, threatening him with your other party members, and at the far end, a massive cart standing in the way of getting through. I don't think he had a lot of options.
He could have tried to be like...
If he could have killed all of you, he could have stolen your cart and maybe driven off with the cart.
He could have taken ranks in Monk.
Yeah, okay.
That's his fault.
So that he could have slow fall down the mountainside?
He could have tried to be peaceful. He could have seen the rock and been like, I know I ignored you earlier when you were trying to be like, hey, let's chill, but let's chill and like GTFO.
I mean, he could have tried to be peaceful. Well, what, you were brandishing a weapon at him? Was that the time where he was supposed to be peaceful? Because, I mean, if you'd like, we can have this whole, like, we can have this whole protest right here about whether or not brandishing a weapon means that somebody should have a fear of violence occurring.
Hey now, you're looking at that in a vacuum. That weapon was brandished because he brandished a weapon at us.
He did.
So,
but he brandished a weapon at you because he's that kind of person.
Oh, well.
Wow. Ooh, man. Not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I had to phrase it that way. So the party is in this tunnel. Are they stopping? Are they continuing?
I will make sure that Anateus is back in the cart if he's not already.
Yes, and I'm going to doubly secure myself to the cart so I don't fall over again.
Okay.
I want to kind of like be looking around, see what I see. Like, is it a small tunnel? Or
it's a very small tunnel. It's basically like, just one of those occurrences that happens in a rock formation. Did somebody's carve just a little bit more, like, to get from one side to another? Probably whoever was trying to, like, the people who were trying to make sure there was a path here. It was a cave that kind of went in a little ways, and they realized, like, it wasn't much further to maybe either blast or cut out the rest of the way. If somebody has any ranks in some knowledge engineering, they can identify what might be going on here.
Oh, ranks or
profession stoneworking. Nope, no idea. It's a wall.
I don't have any ranks in it though.
And you can roll it because you have whatchamacallit.
Bardic knowledge.
So somebody put this together. This is clearly definitely manufactured. Looks pretty even, so it was probably either carved out by magic or by maybe like very well experienced dwarves or somebody else with particularly adept stone cutting skills. Yeah.
So Brianna's kind of breathing heavily. She's like, "Is everyone okay?"
Relatively.
So when you had first described this, I thought this was like a cave where we'd have to double back and leave it.
No.
But you're saying it like goes deep in?
It's a tunnel. It's just a tunnel.
It's just like a short tunnel.
So imagine that you're driving down, like, I don't know, a freeway, and there's like this thing that's carved into the side of a wall, and then you drive through it. You expect there to be an exit on the other side, right? Are you familiar with tunnels?
Yeah, but we don't, unless you're saying I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If I
Yes, I said a very short tunnel.
Oh, okay. A short tunnel could be relative. I don't know. Could be like thousands of feet is short.
I've had
thousands of feet is not a short tunnel.
I've had this discussion with my mom before about what a tunnel is and what a viaduct is. We don't need to get into this.
This is not a viaduct either. This is an actual tunnel. It is a short tunnel spanning no more than a few hundred feet. You can literally see the light on the other side of it. How much more information do we need about the tunnel?
As long as I can see it. Well, I didn't want it to be a tunnel that we weren't supposed to go into, that we couldn't see the end of, and we walked into it.
The path has one route. It has one route.
I just wanted to make sure that we're not walking to a tunnel we couldn't see the end of.
You've made us paranoid, Steve. We can't fuck up anymore.
We're just now getting paranoid in Steve's game? Is that what's happening?
If I can see the end of the tunnel that it does.
You know what? John, give me a perception check now. Maybe you can't see the end of the tunnel. Okay, you see the end of the tunnel. It is beautiful. It is bright. It makes you feel a sense of hope and salvation and peace.
It's a trap.
That's a beautiful tunnel we got here. Let's go. It's
Some coyotes drew that on the wall.
Maybe we should sort of poke our head out and just make sure the rock's not waiting for us on the other end.
I mean, I think if it is, poking your head out isn't gonna be the greatest idea. We just want to zoom the fuck out. Yeah.
How many rock sounds do I hear?
You hear no rock sounds. There is not even the flapping of wings in the distance.
I don't hear anything, not even flapping of wings.
Well, if this tunnel's as short as I thought it would be, we should be at the end of it by now at the speed of this cart.
You guys stopped to let Antaeus in, and then it didn't say you were moving again. Because you wanted to argue me about tunnels and architecture and...
We're moving as soon as Antaeus is in the cart.
Does anyone need healing before we continue?
The cart's already moving.
She can still heal people while the cart is moving.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it if you have extra.
Alright. Sorry.
Okay, the first one is for Ryan. The second one... Oh, I don't have my token, so I can't use my macro.
Yes, you can. You should be able to click down there on your picture of you by the Clinical Theurgy logo in the bottom right.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Oops.
So the first one was Ryan. Second one was Elizabeth.
Okay. All right. So... the party makes it to the end of the mountains after only about an hour more of travel. Reaching the roadway and having no problems as they start to get in close once more to the city of Knightsbridge.
Finally.
Hold on a sec.
Uh-oh. Yep, cast up. Okay, cool.
It's either he's grabbing the book and it's something scary, or it's the cat.
Here's some random supplementary material that I need to look at that you won't have any idea what's in it.
The cat is BBEG.
Oh.
Big bad evil guy.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. I haven't
some sort of
I can see
topic.
the reflection of my window that my neighbors across the street just got a pizza and I want to go take it.
Someone stole my pizza. Don't do that.
What? Someone stole your pizza?
Yeah.
How did they steal your pizza?
Because I got it delivered to my building and then I left it in the lobby for too long and someone just fucking took it.
That's petty.
Shouldn't leave it in the lobby too long. That's just...
True, I was asking for it.
Yeah, you were. You probably were wearing clothes that...
He was wearing purple.
Take my pizza.
Did you see what he was wearing? What? Yeah, he's wearing purple.
All right. So, as the party pulls back towards the town, you notice that the outskirts of town is a little more green than usual. And not like a lively, kind of bright and colorful green, but a dark, dingy, and kind of blackish green that's kind of rolled over the outskirts of the city. As you start to close in, you'll notice that it stretches quite far down the southeastern or the southeastern edge of the city. People are like standing around outside in big crowds as there are these people dressed in these big dark brown suits that cover themselves from head to toe with these masks that are lowered down over their face. Some of them have these big things strapped to their back, and out of like a long tube fires a stream of some sort of like very hot fiery chemical that pours across the ground and starts burning up some of the green that is on the ground. Other people have shovels and plows and are kind of pushing around and tearing up bits and pieces of whatever this is on the ground. Antaeus, as you guys get in quite close, you will recognize this immediately. This is like reminiscent of the long vines that you saw in the woods that connected to the large like blight that existed somewhere deep. These are like smaller, thinner tendrils that have kind of grown through the ground and have come up periodically and now grow as kind of like this moss, this spiky, mossy kind of residue that exists and coats much of the outskirts of the town. But the people that are cleaning up seem to be doing a pretty efficient job of it. The fire seems to be burning away much of the masses of green. The plows and the shovels like chop into it, cut it to pieces, and then hoist it over into the flame with the rest of the bits and pieces. But it looks like it's a massive undertaking, and the people that are participating in doing the work seem to be putting a lot of time and effort into trying to make sure it's done efficiently, effectively, and safely.
All right, I will relay this to the party, and I will be right back in a moment.
Okay.
Brianna's like, boy, this isn't what I wanted to see in my homecoming.
Doesn't Taeus' knowledge let us know of this, like, because we see people with masks? Like, is this, like, should we be worried about breathing anything in, or?
They're not pushing away the other civilians that are around. And where you're coming in, you're not close enough to, like, be in any sort of breathable range or contact range of this stuff. This is like to the southern end of what you can, not the southern end of what you can see, but to the southern end of the roadway. So as you guys start getting in close, you can see that there's like already scorch marks as you come in where it has likely been burned away from up to this far. And much of what they're doing now is more southward.
If I can navigate the cart in a path that we would not pass through any of this, like, green cloud or anything.
No, easily. It's not a cloud. It's across the ground.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can. The road is far away from where any of the rest of this is that's still active, so you can easily bring yourself into the town, into the city, and make your way towards the ministry office.
Mm-hmm. I'll do so.
Nobody really notices your arrival while you come in. The people are all very heavily focused on the activities in the south. And you can park at the ministry and make your way inside.
I will do so.
Yeah.
What do you want to do when you're in?
Find Nikolev or whatever his name is.
Nikolev? Nope. Check
Our
your notes.
boss man. What was his damn name?
I have it. I'm just toying with you now.
I have it somewhere.
My notebook got overtaken by a child who wanted to color.
I didn't think this would take this long. Ninoslav is his name.
Enoslav. What did I say?
Nikolav or...
Oh, close enough. Come on.
No.
I was still looking, so sorry. I was still looking at the right notes because I have it written down. It's just...
All right, so you can ask around for Ninoslav, who, once he gets word that you are looking for him, it takes very little time for him to locate the four of you, and ask that you, and he'll like ask you to accompany him to your normal meeting room.
We do so.
All right, please be seated. There's a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw coming back into town. The forest. It's overgrown.
We'll get to that. Let's focus on one thing at a time. Let's focus on your mission. Were you successful?
Yes.
So it has been delivered. You got there safely through the mountains. Everything is good.
Yes. We met up with the scientist, gave him the samples. He also took samples from Elizabeth and Goron, and so they are working on it in the capital.
Excellent. Did you encounter any issues along the way?
A few. There were some ogres, and we had to outrun a giant rock, but we managed.
There was a rock.
It was a huge
Yep.
bird.
No, I'm aware of a rock. There was one. There was one there in the mountains. They're normally
Yeah.
not that far north. They normally hang out in the southern mountains. His lights are off. You can see the edge of his window.
Well, I don't know. I don't know much about them, but yeah, we were fighting these ogres. They had blocked us. There was just no other option, and he just came out of the sky and started eating one of them.
This is not a good sign. I'm going to have one of our mountaineers look into that. If they're starting to move north, it means something must be wrong to where they stay. Things have been okay for a while. They haven't been overfeeding there. I wonder. No matter. It's not important. Okay, so the research should be back to us soon, I would hope. In the meantime, the issue of what you saw when you came into town. It's been spreading faster. We've been keeping an eye out on it since you tried to bring back your old friend. I worried that us letting him go and having no way to keep him here leaves us in a very awful situation. If what we understand to be true, the blight resides within the minds of its hosts, and it sees their thoughts and hears their words. If this is true, then it likely saw that we are in what our interests are, and it's probably reaching out to try to defend itself, or perhaps that was never it. Perhaps its intention was just simply to overtake us. Considering it's had agents in here, I've reason to believe that it doesn't have any friendly intents. It was capturing children, and then captured your friend, and tried to even take you.
We saw the people that were burning it were wearing masks. Should we be worried? Should we be wearing masks?
No, that's standard precautionary equipment. Anytime you're using those, what was the term for them? The belchers. Belchers are quite dangerous to use in close proximity. You have the mask on to make sure that you're not breathing in both the soot and other things of the fire. Most of the time, burning something isn't bad, but if you're literally right in front of it as you burn it, you can end up breathing in a lot of the smoke and a lot of, whatever it is you're burning. And we don't want to take any chances that somebody, right in front of what's burning is going to breathe in this, and it turns out it's some kind of, airborne moss that will infect the minds of them. So the suits are just really an extra precautionary measure.
Okay. Well, that eases my mind some.
All should be well. We've experienced similar things to this before. It's why we have these sorts of things on hand. We've had overgrowths of other types in the past. Sometimes you get funguses that seem to, they grow into places they're not supposed to, and you have to bust those out. Or the occasional slime will try to move its way into town, and you'll have to keep it back. And fire tends to be the fastest way to keep it at bay.
Well, I'm glad that we have the situation in hand. It was very disturbing to see coming back into town.
I would imagine it would be. It's not something that we're priding ourselves on. But, alas, these times are quite heavy ones and stressful ones for all of us. But unfortunately, Normally, I would hope to be giving you a break right now, but I have for you at least one other thing while you have the cart that you have, and perhaps you can use it to acquire something for us really quick from a place that's recently come into ownership of it. They allegedly have an item which could be of substantial use in our investigations. It is supposed to be quite useful, but no one has quite figured out its functionality. And we happen to have here one of our best investigators who might be able to identify how it functions. But the level of magic glowing off of it is immense, the likes of which we've never seen before. So if you can pick it up and bring it back here, we would appreciate it. We've asked for it to be delivered multiple times, but since they've uncovered it, they've been dealing with quite a problem that's arisen as a side effect of it. The group they sent out to locate it found it deep within a cave out in the middle of the plains, a very strange mound dug in, as they explained, in a way they had never seen before. There were patches of obsidian ground all around where the tunnel entrance was, and even to some degree leading inward. They didn't say they saw any sign of the creature, which they likely would have retreated from had they have seen it in its true form. But they managed to recover bags full of wealth and this object from there. The creature, however, came to Carrefour asking for its item back. It came rather violently with its large wings and its bright red scales and its massive maw that breathed fire throughout the town as it entered. A creature the likes of which we haven't seen before.
Is it still there?
The creature came in, gave the city an ultimatum. 1 week to return the item. And if it's not returned, then he would burn the city to the ground. The people of Carrefour have been largely either evacuated or put into safe places for now, those that we can. The rest are preparing to fight back this beast. We expect to be able to beat this beast. We've seen many things try to threaten with the same aggressive behavior, but we have managed to overcome what we feel are probably much worse problems. But we do know that we need all the people we can get. Some of the knights here have been dispatched to aid Carrefour, as well as some of the knights of Megiddo. So it is of crucial importance that we not expend any troops that we could potentially have in this endeavor. And that is why we've chosen to send you to pick this up. A group trained well enough that we think you'll be able to survive should the dragon arrive when you go to pick up the item. But also that aren't so experienced that you might be better on the front lines. So, getting this item is the most important thing. Do not get headstrong in fighting this creature. He looks directly at you, Elizabeth, when he says that. It is very important that you understand your mission. They will want your aid, and if you wish to give some of it, you may. But if you don't come back, you should consider either opting for death, Because there will be no home left in Knightsbridge if we cannot also fight our own problems. Or, well, let's just keep it at that. Please understand, Carrefour can defend itself. We can only defend so far. We have already exhausted some of our own agents. It would be best if we not lose more and not have to be fighting this blight alone.
And how long has it been since they gave Carrefour a week to return the items?
Well, this is where the problem comes in. Our messaging has been very, very slow. We've had a number of issues with the arcane roadway that leads back and forth between Carrefour was partially broken, and it is a large part of how the efficiencies of our messaging systems worked. So we've had a number of agents out trying to repair it. So it has been about 6 days since we've received this information. Carrefour should only be a few hours travel from here back and forth. So I imagine you should be able to get there and back before nightfall, assuming you don't run into any trouble on the roads along the way.
All right. We'll get it done.
Good luck to you.
Brianna will look at the other members of the team. Does anyone else have any questions or anything to add?
So we don't have time for a rest then, because my resources are quite drained, so I'll be relying on most of you if we leave now.
I'm sorry to hear that your resources are drained. I suppose after fighting a creature such as a rock and managing to survive, it probably took a lot out of you.
Indeed. Well, while we have a few minutes to talk as well, we should clarify we went through the mountain, not over it.
What?
Yes.
On the way there, yes.
I was very explicit. The tunnel was not finished yet. We ran into a problem in negotiations. There was no tunnel exit. Do you realize that going through the tunnels is exponentially more dangerous than going over the mountains?
We do now.
Yes, but you see, had we not, we may have lost our opportunity to negotiate with the dwarves, as they were perhaps under threat that we warned them to, which may go in our favor in negotiations for building the tunnel.
The dwarves are under no threat.
The drow have resurfaced, maybe. There we saw some evidence of a potential attack on them.
Again, these rumors should be kept to yourselves. We don't also need rumors of drow now that we have visible proof of blight occurring. It's only a matter of time before people about town start blaming the Fae for all of their problems.
Yes, I just wanted to tell you so that I don't know if you're involved with the people who deal with negotiations with them. It may bring...
Para-arcanal affairs do not get themselves in the middle of political disputes between the over- and underworlds.
Well, I'm just saying we should tell them that of this so that they're aware if they try to communicate with the dwarves again that we gave them some helpful information.
I'll pass on word.
Also, I'd like it on the record that the decision was mine to go this way.
Good. I'll put it on the record. You should be aware, Gul'ran. Continue your current trend, and you're going to be looking for a new line of work. Not only in the ministry, but also in the temple.
My actions will never deviate from my gods.
Funny. Your god's desire would have been to have the information arrive safely and securely at its destination, so it could be processed and understood, and then regurgitated to the people of the country. But you instead chose a position that put the package in the greatest level of danger. Think better about what your god would do, instead of your own selfish desires. You don't think I think it's some kind of accident that you went down there, that you made the choice for anything other than a selfish reason, do you?
Well, your thoughts are wrong. We misunderstood your initial instructions, and by the time we had realized our error, I had thought the lives of several dwarves to be in danger, so I think I made the right call.
Yes, the little orphan boy that's never seen his family, didn't have any interest in going to see if maybe a civilization full of his own kind might have some piece of it. That had nothing to do with it.
Wow, I'm glad to see that you're being level-headed about this.
Goron clenches his...
Do you recognize that this could have put us in a very terrible situation? To have you all suddenly showing up when we had an agreement with the dwarves that there would be no more human interaction.
Luckily, I'm not a human.
Oh.
Human!
She didn't interact with them.
Brianna.
Oh, she didn't. She didn't come into town at all.
They didn't know she was there.
Brianna says, well, I mean, to be fair, Goron did get himself jailed and yelled at by the dwarves, too.
And in his defense, it was my vision that saw it, and I was the one who mentioned it, which gave him the idea to go in there, but I would have made the decision the same. Do you not find it important to...
Regardless, I know it was an error to have gone in the tunnels, but once we were there, hindsight is 20/20. We didn't know all these things you're telling us, and we thought we were making the best decision with the information we had. Although, yes, of course, there was an element of hope that perhaps some family connection would be there. I will not deny that, of course.
I still believe that given the information that we learned down there, it wasn't inherently the wrong decision, but I understand why...
That's quite enough.
You're upset.
That's quite enough. I'm going to put this very simple for all of you. There is a person by the name of James Harvest. You are to meet with James Harvest and pick up the book from James Harvest that he will give you. And you are to bring it back here safely, efficiently, and if you have to give up one of your lives or others for them, just ensure the book gets back here.
Well, I do appreciate you giving us a name of the contact this time.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was going to be in the sheets, but I feel like now I need to state things directly as clearly as I can and hope that you acknowledge what I said, and then maybe, just maybe, directions will be followed and an incident doesn't occur where the dwarven armies are marching upon our capital.
That's Harvess. Brianna's like writing
One S.
down.
That is a possibility, considering they might still be there, yes.
And he slides you guys the assignment, the paper assignment, gets up and storms out of the room. I can't handle you anymore.
Brianna kind of rolls her eyes. She's like, Goron, you didn't have to bring all that up.
Brianna, lying is not the way
It's not a lie.
Omission of truth is as bad as a lie in my books.
Like omitting the contact we were supposed to meet when they sent us to that place, knowing any way that we went, it would have been dangerous. We were equally in as much danger.
I'll pick up the folder and
flip
flip through it and see if there's any other information in it.
Sorry.
There's no real additional information. It's basically just a reconnaissance mission. There's a location within Carrefour that James Harvest should be, that you can meet with him and recover the items there.
Ryan, sorry, I didn't hear the end of what you said. What were you saying?
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over.
We can't hear you.
Oh, is it?
I hear him fine.
Nothing.
Yeah, I hear him fine.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Why can't I hear him?
No, Ryan, you're fine. Ryan.
This is weird.
Do you have him muted somehow?
I don't think I can do that.
Ryan, you were fine. I wonder if something is wrong because it doesn't seem like he can hear me saying he's fine.
Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he took his
Yeah.
earbuds
Ryan,
or
can you hear
whatever
us?
out.
Ryan? Hello? Oh god. It's all fucked.
Oh, this is a nice new bug for Zoom. Ryan, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Ryan? Ryan, speak to us! Should we just restart the Zoom maybe? Oh, his internet's...
Is that better?
bugging.
That's better. Ryan, can you
Wait,
hear
can
me?
you hear?
Can you hear me now?
Ryan, can you hear? Okay, Whitney, say something.
Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
I can hear everybody.
You can hear me.
Yes, everybody that's not muted, I can hear.
Okay,
I
thank
can
you.
hear everybody too.
Okay,
can hear
so
everyone.
we're back in business.
I
I think-
can't hear Ryan. Why can't I hear Ryan? I hear everyone else. What the hell?
I think what is
Right click on Ryan.
Speakers. Oh, that's not what I meant.
No, Ryan, you're fine. Whitney, right click on Ryan.
It just says pin video. That's the only thing I have.
All right,
if
hold
I
on. I'm gonna
right-click
mute and unmute him. All right, Ryan, say something again.
Yo.
Nothing.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a short break then, and maybe we can resolve this issue. We'll be back in a moment.